good friend of mine went through a divorce. Big shift. New chapter. She wanted to rebuild her life. Finally on her own terms. Now, her ex had money. So there was never really a reason to have or not have a job. She did cool stuff. A little photography project here. A drawing course there. Some Airbnb experiments in between. Over time, she picked up loads of skills. You'd think, wow, this woman's unstoppable. She'll find a job in no time. Right? Wrong. She felt stuck. Completely lost. Why? Because all those years she wasn't steering her own life. She was reacting. She was attention-driven. Let me explain. An opportunity popped up. She took it. A course came by, signed up. Someone suggested something. Boom. Let's go. But nothing started from her. It's like she was in the back seat of a van watching the world pass by, while life drove itself without asking where she actually wanted to go. And the scary part? She was busy. Constantly. Busy reacting. Busy chasing sparks. Busy being distracted. But never intentional. Let me ask you this. Are you attention-driven? Are you letting the world decide where you end up? One notification, one impulse, one why not at a time. If yes, you're not alone, but you are off course. Because here's the thing about attention. It feels like movement, but it rarely creates direction. Sure, it keeps you entertained, and sometimes, yes, the universe surprises you with something cool, but most of the time, you end up exhausted, unfocused, and wondering why none of it adds up to anything that feels like you. Now let's flip it. Intention-driven people? Different story. They wake up with a direction, a why, a sense of, this is what I'm building, and this is what I'm becoming. They don't chase every spark. They choose fire, and they protect it like hell. Their time has a job. Their yes has weight. Their energy is invested, not spent. They're not passengers in the back. They're behind the wheel. Foot on the gas. Hands on the mission. So, back to my friend. After years of attention-driven living, she realized, I have no clue who I am. No idea what I want. I've done so much, but I don't know where I'm going. You could do 100 things, from mandala drawing to managing rentals, but she wasn't passionate about any of them. She had to learn to drive again, to set direction, to say no, to choose her own damn road. Because guess what? In real life, jobs don't just show up like they used to. Opportunities don't ring your doorbell. You have to go after them. And for that, you need a compass. You need intention. What do you want to contribute? What matters enough to suffer for? What would you fight for, even if you're not good at it? That's the question that changes the game. And here's the magic. When you know what you stand for, skills don't matter that much. You'll learn what you need. You'll ask better questions. You'll attract the right mentors, the right tribe, the right chances. But without intention, you're just another busy person with no idea where they're going. So ask yourself, am I living from impulse or from purpose? Because only one of those gets you where you actually want to go. And maybe you're listening to this thinking, yeah, Ben, sounds great. But how the hell do I even find my intention? Fair question. Because if you've spent years reacting to life instead of directing it, chances are you've lost touch with what truly matters to you. So here's what I want you to do. Please grab a pen. Or better, grab a stack of yellow sticky notes as we're going to make things visible. On the left, write down everything that feels like a true intention. The stuff that lights you up, or used to. What would you fight for, even if you weren't paid for it? What breaks your heart? What brings you joy? Write it down, one per note. Then on the right, write down everything that currently takes your attention. Your job, your inbox, your obligations, your hobbies. your mindless scrolling at 11 p.m. Again, one per note. Now here's where it gets interesting. Draw connections. If something on the right serves something on the left, great. Draw a green line. If it drains it or distracts you from it, draw a red line. When you're done, step back and look. You'll see your life, your patterns, your friction, your flow. And no, the goal isn't to suddenly go full monk mode and quit everything. The goal is to choose with your eyes open, to stop saying yes by default and start saying yes on purpose. Because when you know what matters and you align your energy with that, that's when things move. Not because the world gets easier, but because you get clearer. So now you've got a visual. You've seen it in front of you, where your time goes, and whether it matches what your heart beats for. And maybe that hits you. Maybe it hurts a little. Good. Because that means you're waking up. Now, listen. You don't need to throw your life upside down overnight. You don't need to quit your job, break up with your partner, and move to Bali. Unless, of course, that's the plan. Then call me. I'll join. What you do need is clarity and a bit of courage. Clarity about what your real intentions are, and courage to say, this matters. This is where I'm going. And this is what I'm done giving energy to. Because the truth is, if you don't live aligned, you'll feel it in your body, in your relationships, in your energy. But when you do, when attention serves intention, you don't burn out, you light up. That's when work becomes meaningful. That's when time becomes precious. That's when life starts to feel like yours again. So go. Redraw the map. Change one thing this week that puts you back in the driver's seat. And don't wait for permission. You already know what matters. Now act like it.